Hello, today I'm going to tell you how to hook up serial to serial communication using an Arduino Uno and an Arduino Mega. The Mega will be basically the master, and then the Uno will be the slave. It'll act upon messages sent from the Mega. Something to keep in mind that I would like to share is I connected the hardware power from the Mega to the Uno so that when you plug in the Arduino Mega, it also powers the Uno. Another thing to keep in mind is that these LED lights here and here will light up using an input of 1 or 0 for on and off, and 1 and 0 for either the Mega or the Uno. Once you select the Uno, you'll be talking over the hardwired communication, serial communication from serial 1 to the serial port on the Uno. And the Uno will light up the red LED right here and then activate the buzzer, which is on pin 9 of the Mega. So the Mega will send data over to the Uno will act upon that data, and then it will send an acknowledgement back to the Mega via a buzzer. So let's take a look at what this code looks like and see this actually running. But before we do that, I want to make it clear that there's actually two portions, one set of code for the Uno and then one set of code for the Mega. So that's very important that you're actually writing code for both. So here's the communication for the Mega to send data or to activate the Uno. And it says here, enter Uno equals 1, Mega equals 0. So if we enter a 0 and then hit enter, it comes back saying enter LED 0, on equals 1, off equals 0. So let's turn the LED on, and you'll see it came back and lit up the light. Also, what's important to note here is that the COM port is actually waiting for input, and it doesn't do anything until we actually enter something in the serial, in this case we'll do the Mega, and then we will turn off the LED. There you go. But this does not show serial communication. So let's now send from the Mega to the Uno. Let's select the Uno by selecting 1, and let's select turning the LED on, in which case we will see the LED go on, and then it will acknowledge back to the Mega with the buzzer, which it did. So that was serial to serial communication, both directions. So now let's select the Uno again, and then let's turn it off. There you go. So this is a basic setup. I'll show you a close-up of the wiring and how that all goes together. And then I will go over the code for the Mega and the Uno one at a time. So here we have the Arduino Uno and the Arduino Mega. They share common power. They also communicate, the Mega communicates serial 1 to the Uno, and the Uno communicates serial back to the Mega. The buzzer is on pin 9, and the two LEDs are connected to pin 13. This schematic shows the Uno and the Mega connected to each other with LEDs and a buzzer. So here we have the code for the serial to serial Mega board. And it starts out, we initialize some variables here, LED pin on 13, buzzer on 9. The board will store a 1 for Uno, 2 for Mega. The on-off option will store a 1 for on, 0 for off. We get down to the setup. We set up the two serial ports, serial and serial 1 at 9600. LED pin and buzzer pin for output. And then I flush the serial ports here. Not sure that really does a whole lot, but I thought I'd at least try it. So let's now go down here to the loop. And I'll bring that up here so it's a little bit easier to see. So here we have the loop. This is obviously where everything works and transpires. We start off, prompt the user for input, serial print line, enter 1 for Uno, 0 for Mega. And then we say while the serial is available equals 0, we continually wait for input. And then what we put in something, a 1 or a 0, and we parse that, and then we assign that to board. And then we come down here and we say enter LED on or off, and we again wait for the user to input some value. We assign that to on off, and then we do a print line to separate the two commands so the next batch of commands you can actually see. That brings us down here to a switch case. And I use a switch case because I think it's cleaner than multiple nested if-else statements. If there's going to be a bug anywhere, often if-else statements are just notorious. So I use a case statement. It's easier to break out functionality. So if it's the mega board, we write the LED pin high, turn the light on. Otherwise, if it's not a 1, it must be a 0. Turn it off. And then that's the end of that case. Now, and that's just the mega board, so that's really simple. The Uno board is a more complex. So basically, case 1, a value of 1, we send over the upper and lower bytes of our on-off choice, whether it's 0 or 1. And we do that by dividing it by 256. And that portion is called the quotient, or if you want to think about it, how many times value. How many times does a certain number go into a value? Like 2 into 10 goes 5. Serial 1 here, this right, is the modulo or the remainder. 3 divided by 2 goes 1.5, so this would be the half. And basically, you send these in separate bytes. This would be byte 1 and byte 2. You send that over to the Uno board for processing. Now, there's a second half of this, which is once the Uno board has done its thing with either turning the light on or off, it sends back a value. And so we wait for serial 1. While it's less than 2, we do nothing. We wait. And once we get the 2 bytes, byte 1, upper byte, and byte 2, lower byte, we then multiply the upper by 256, and then we add the remainder, which is B2, to the receive value. And if receive equals 2, which it does because that's hard-coded in the Uno, the buzzer will make a noise, and these are variables, and that's it. And that's basically all the code for the Mega. Now let's bring up the Uno. And the Uno is a little bit simpler. Again, it has the same LED pin, has a receive variable, and then the acknowledgement transfer or transmission back to the Mega is a number 2. So you can change it to anything you want. Here you set it up the same, the output. Down here, you wait for the 2 bytes to come in. Once they do, we'll come down here, bring this up a little bit. Once they do, you can assign the upper byte to B1, upper byte to B2. You put it back together into a number, store that in the receive. Here I did some debugging. If receive equals 1, then we turn it high, else we turn the light off. And then down a little bit further, we send back the acknowledgement, again, the upper byte and the lower byte. We wait a little bit of time for the a delay of 50 here. It could even be less, but I wait a little bit for the serial port to kind of get ready and be available. One nice thing about doing the byte sending this way is you don't have to have a delimiter. A lot of folks will send a number and then follow it with a backslash or a pound sign or some letter like the letter A or L to say, okay, this is the end of the line. Well, with this, you don't have to worry about an end of a line marker. You can send it as just a number, or most likely also just a character, the character B or uppercase D or whatever you want. So this only communicates via, the Uno only communicates via serial, whereas again the Mega communicates via serial and serial 1. So this is the end of the code portion and end of this little video. I hope you find this informative. Please add any comments, share it, subscribe to this playlist if you wish, or channel, and I hope you find this informative. Thank you.